Hello, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Ancient Origins. That's the show that we're doing this evening. Origins of the Ancients with myself, Kate Buxton, and the lovely Birgitta is here as well this evening.
Yeah, I think I'm sitting in the dark, but I'm not getting up now.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's called nice and cozy. It's called winter.
Yeah, don't you notice that other hour?
Yeah, you do, absolutely. It gets dark like 4 o'clock already.
Yeah, exactly. It's really strange. I was looking in my shop window the other day going, that looks really dark. What did I do last year? Fairy lights. I'm actually quite looking forward to getting my fairy lights up in the window again.
You know, I have them. I just haven't switched them on.
Yeah. No, got to be done. Definitely. So, have we got any hellos to do? If you could share the stream, that'd be great. If you could give us some thumbs up. I believe there's a thumbs up button. If you could
yes,
do
there
that
is.
and share. Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you. Just yeah.
Like, share, and care.
It's just I was fine up until about sort of 4 o'clock today, and then things started to go a little squinky. But our topic of conversation today, squinky. Yeah, it's a thing.
What, tweet?
Squinky. You know when things just start going a little bit, you know, like wobbly and off. So
no.
yeah, a little bit squinky. So I was like, right, okay, fine. But then our subject this evening, we were going to talk a little bit about gins. So that would probably be why things went a little bit squinky. But yeah, as ever, I fell down a rabbit hole, which turned into watches and, of course, Anunnaki. So if we've got some hellos to do, that would be good. We can get on with that. And would you like to add anything?
No. No. Yeah, because right now I see a horse. I've had a black horse. And no, the horse doesn't make sense. That's what's on screen.
Yeah. Can everyone see that?
No.
No, just us. Okay. I can't. Yeah. No, we're meant to be able to see hellos and we can't. Never mind. Oh, hello.
Tina.
Yeah. Hi, Tina. Oh, hello, Christine.
From Bournemouth, windy Bournemouth. Hi, Mary.
Oh, I love it there. Hi, Mary.
Hi, Terry.
Hi, Terry. Hi, Christine.
Thank you, Mary. Hi, Shona. Okay. Hi, Shelley.
Hi, Shelley. Oh, hello, Paul.
Hi, Heather.
Hi, Heather.
4 hearts right back at you. Thank you, Richard. Oh, hi, Julie.
So if anyone's got any questions for us, then do let us know, because I do like a good question. And for any really good questions, we will pull a card for a little bit later on. So do let us know if you have any, because I like a good question. We're talking about gins tonight, but if anybody else has anything that they'd like to talk about or like to ask us, then let us know.
Fire away. Oh, Hi, Holly. Hey, Mary. Yeah, there's only 5 because I don't know. It's different. YouTube and Facebook are different.
Yeah, it's different to work with, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Because Rich was just saying how is it different to work with? It's because there's not as many people on, and usually you get, it's like a whole load of questions. You can almost sort of just fire off really, but because there aren't so many people on, it's sort of it's different. That's by my reckoning.
That's why Mary said only 5. Bless her.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, cool. So, what do you know about jinns?
The only thing I know is Aladdin in the Wonderland.
Yeah.
That's what I know. That's all I know because I don't. And do you remember? And wait, do you remember the 1960 series? What is it called? I'm a Genie.
Oh, I Dream of Jeannie.
I Dream of Jeannie. That was brilliant.
Yeah, I used to love that.
I loved it. With Larry and oh God, what was her name?
Larry had.
I can see her now. How she went.
Yeah. She was Jeannie trapped. She was in a bottle, wasn't she? And
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah, I used to love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I bet you probably do. Have you heard of Watchers?
What are the Watchers?
Okay, so, and there's, you know, I can Anunnaki it. It's funny that, isn't it?
But the Anunnaki know everything about. I mean, if we talk about the fallen angels, the Watchers, the giants, the Nephilim, yes. I mean, well, the Nephilim.
Yeah, them. Pretty much. So when I went to, because I'd had this I Dream of Jeannie. It's funny you say that because I had that I Dream of Jeannie going around my head, and to me that's a particular person, right? So.
Yes, Terry, me too.
So I want to get myself a lamp. Yeah, I'd love a lamp. It'd be good, wouldn't it? You'd have to do anything.
We're rubbing like crazy, like stupid lamp. It's not working.
Yeah, just chuck it away. I'd chuck it away. Knowing me, it'd be like, it's not working. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I started looking into jinns because I knew it was going to be a rabbit hole, and more comes up about them in the Quran, really, and that's where they're described as jinns. But the story had a lot of similarities to the Watchers.
Yeah, but the Watchers means those who are awake.
Right.
They were Watchers, so.
But there was 200 of them that came.
Okay.
200 Watchers came because it was right. Okay, so you had Enlil, who was ruling over our planet, and then you had Enki that kind of went, no, I'm not happy about that, and Enlil had a like a league of angels working with him, but 200 of them sort of went, I don't agree with what you're doing here, and they decided to rebel against him, and they were the 200 Watchers.
Okay. But then you're missing the Pleiades in there as well. Pleiadians.
How do they fit in then?
Think with you had the Watchers. So I mean, this happened. The angelic rebellion happened over 200,000 years ago.
Yeah,
right?
It was. Yeah.
So there was Earth, and then there were like 36 other planets that were actually quarantined from what they call like the large multiverse. So, I mean, when we talk about Lucifer's a fallen angel, yeah, he is a fallen angel, but he rebelled. And of course, there were, as you said, more that rebelled, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, it has to do with the Pleiad. So the Pleiadians and the Watchers, they were initially kind of working together.
Right. Okay. Because I didn't know that they had a connection to the Pleiadians. I had no idea.
Yeah, actually, it's about 38,000 years ago. 38,000 years ago. That's a long time.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
But it's like the rebel angel leadership, as they're saying. You know, it's like, what happened? I mean, come on. If we go back thousands, millions and millions of years, there's always been the struggle between good, you know, between light and darkness. That hasn't stopped. So it was a time when everything descended into chaos, into darkness, into ignorance and confusion. And so there is a lot when the Nephilim came to Earth, and the Pleiadians with the destruction of Lemuria, and then about the angelic influence, because the Lemurians, funnily, because it's very funnily enough, yeah, of course, totally ties in. This morning I was channeling Sekhmet, the ancient goddess Sekhmet. Now,
Yeah.
Sekhmet is Lyran, okay? She's from the Lyran
Yeah.
star belt. And I love her because she's very much in your face. But
Yeah.
you know, as she was saying, like, I mean, she lived in Atlantis, but when we go back to the Lyrans, they were actually very much embedded. They were before Mars, because Mars was actually inhabited, as you said, it was inhabited. But the Lyrans have finished the game of evolution. They finished the game of evolution. So they are now assisting Earth, but we're a bit dense up here. So anyhow, but they have really, they're really, really healers of the planet. And so they were also in Lemuria. Many Lyrans incarnated in Lemuria. And so, I mean, that was an amazing civilization. I mean, there were so many, not deities, there were so many intergalactics there as well, and so many different spirits from different realms, so to speak. It was all just a concoction. And, you know, when we talk about with the destruction of Lemuria, and, you know, with the Nephilim and the Pleiadians, they actually had that ability to affect the whales and the dolphins, and the presence even of illicit colonies in remote areas of Earth. Because, like, we know of Shambhala, we know of the inner Earth. I haven't been there. I mean, I have in my astral state once, many years ago, and that was amazing. But yeah, no, I you know, not since. So where was I? And now I lost the thread. So does that mean Lucifer is a watcher? Good question.
That is a good question, isn't it?
Because
Lucifer, when you Anunnaki that, sorry, I have got notes, but there was so much of them. I just, you know, like when you just get too far into it and then your brain goes.
Yeah.
Because they've got Lucifer, in Anunnaki terms, that's Enki.
Is that Enki?
Apparently so.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, remember, I always say when it comes to the Watchers, if you have these 100, 200 rebel angels, many of them, as I said, are currently living in human form, okay, in human life form.
Yeah, they're still here.
And most of them are actually unaware of their angelic heritage because they come in cold turkey, just like us, just like any of us, right? So they're unaware of their angelic heritage, and they're struggling with their senses of being like so different from other people because they know that they're different, but they don't know quite how to fit in. And so it's like, but because they are mortal, for them it's actually it's an opportunity to personally redeem for you know, for their past, and also to help prepare the way for the imminent transformation right now, of global consciousness, as the Earth is kind of welcomed back into the multiverse. So that's a shift in consciousness.
Yeah.
So but that doesn't mean that they're all good.
Well, well, some of them are good, some of them aren't. Again, like it's like with everything, isn't it? And I did also see that the Watchers might have been the Igigi. We were talking about them the other week.
The what?
Because the race, the Igigis that the Anunnaki work with.
Okay.
So they sent them here to mine all of our guns the first time around, but they were like, no, man, we're not doing this. It's not right, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have gone off track with the question completely. It is a good question, though. I don't think Lucifer is a watcher, because if Lucifer is Enki, then he's not a watcher. Enki sent the Watchers.
Enki would be an Anunnaki.
Yeah. So yeah, in answer to your question, I don't think that Lucifer would be a watcher, because he's Enki.
Yep.
Can I get back to Igigi now? Because I had a train of thought there. So right, yeah. So yeah,
he was just.
Go on.
Well, I mean, Lucifer is just an angelic. He was a rebel.
Yeah.
But he was not a watcher. I do not believe that.
Yeah, no, I don't think he was.
And and to be truthful, I mean, I have seen him when I was a kid, and I'm telling you, he's like amazing to see. But he's got both that light and darkness in him. Okay, it's like a balance. He's neither good nor bad. It's just, yeah. Let's keep it at that. But he's not.
It's surprising actually, because as with so many spiritual beings, like, he gets a bit of a bad rap, doesn't he? And then when you meet him, you're like going, do you know what? He's just a person. He just come across to me as an average fella. There was nothing,
Absolutely.
there was no jazz hands about him. There was no, I thought, when you think of Lucifer, you think you're going to sort of, most of Hades is going to ride with him, but they don't, And it's funny because I've got the song in my head. I know he's around. I've got the song in my head that I always get when he's about. That I'm riding shotgun underneath a hot sun. That's always that's my Lucy song.
But actually, there are now over 90 million rebel angels currently incarnated on Earth. 90 million.
Wow.
Yes, 90 million.
90 million. And do you know what? It sort of doesn't surprise me. Well, that's the thought, that you've got 90 million jinns running around. I mean, it's no wonder. It's no wonder it's chaos, is it? Really? Because they can be a pain in the ass, like,
Yeah, but what, can I just say one thing? Everything is living consciousness, right? We're all consciousness evolving. So just like those rebel angels, they are consciousness evolving. Okay? Yeah. It's like me in my normal form. Let's leave it at that. I'm the prodigal daughter. That is why I was sent to Earth millions and millions of years ago, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. Yeah. And it's fine.
I have no idea why I was sent here. Why would you do it? I don't know.
I know. I'm a sadomasochist. There you go.
Yeah, exactly. Oh.
Scary.
that what it is? Richard reckons because we keep coming back because we haven't got the recipe right for beans on toast. You could be right. You could be right. No, I haven't forgotten the topic. I forgot where I was with it.
Well, what?
Yeah. But yeah, it's funny how, well, funny, not funny, how like when I was looking at this, I found like 3 different versions of what happened that was completely, that they were more or less completely the same. Because when I was looking at the jinns in the Quran, I was going, that really sounds like watchers. So we've got a question there. Why do you think they rebel and what against? They were rebelling against Enlil because he was all for keeping us sort of naive and without knowledge. And if these watchers hadn't have come to Earth, we wouldn't have progressed really. We'd still be in the Garden of Eden wearing fig leaves, because that's pretty much the way Enlil wanted us to be. And they kind of looked down from, from Nibiru and went like, no, this isn't right. You can't carry on a race like that. So, they sent 200 watchers came down, or jinns, and they taught us how to. Well, they gave us tools. They gave us, skills on how to live, basically. I know Enlil wasn't happy about it at all, because he didn't want us to progress and move forward. We haven't really talked about the Nephilim, really, because they came down and they made the Nephilim. So getting into that one, they came here, they educated us, and then they decided that they quite liked us and wanted to mate with us, pretty much. And that's how you got the Nephilim. So they were half human, half Anunnaki, basically. So you had this magnificent race. Yeah. Do you know much about Nephilim?
I don't know a lot about the Nephilim, to be honest. I know they were called the giants of the earth.
Yeah, they were.
Because they were a lot taller.
Yeah, they were. They were much taller. I mean, there have been some giant bones found, but I think they were bigger than that.
Yeah.
Because when I see them, I see like the canyons in America coming up to their knees, sort of thing. Like they were.
Really?
It's the way it was shown to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they was as tall as that, but I think they were just looking for a proportional thing, like to show me. But yeah, they, like again, they were good and bad Nephilim, as they are with everything.
Mm-hmm.
But so they had the long life, they had the all the intuition, they had all the, all of that sort of thing. But quite an interesting thing. I'm trying to think what happened to them.
I don't know what happened to them. I mean, the Nephilim, the Anunnaki, the Anunnaki to me are the Sumerians. I mean, that's long gone, Sumeria, but it just fascinated me because, of course, the Anunnaki educated the Sumerians, right? They taught them about the monetary system. That's where it came from. And look where it's got us,
Yeah, we didn't really have much of a chance because it was them that brought in the tax and all that sort of thing.
And all of that. But I think, I mean, of course, they coexisted at the same time. And they actually, I don't know the wars of it, I don't know the timings of it, but I know that they followed like Lucifer into the rebellion. So remember that the Earth went into quarantine for about 200,000 years because it really needed to breathe again. So yeah. That's all I know. I really don't know much about the Nephilim.
We can go back to the jinns. Well, yeah. Yeah, so when I did my first lot of research, the first thing I came across was...
That's correct, Kelly.
All the stuff in the Quran. Oh, God, no, you're right. It does seem to have done a 360, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it's okay.
Going back, we need to, you know. Yeah. We need to. Oh, hi, Ricky. And Tyler, hello. Should we do a reading for Terry? Because Terry gave us a good question earlier on. So should we do a reading for her?
I want to.
Okay. Yeah?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Do you want to go first or second?
No, you go first.
Okay. Oh. Cards everywhere. Right. So, Terry, are you going away? Going away is one thing, but the other thing I've got is leaving some choppier waters and moving into calmer ones. And also, you've been... This is kind of money-wise. You've got some money coming to you, but it's not come in as quick as you would like it to. It's only a temporary pause, but don't worry about it. It is on its way in. You might also be, I don't know if you're thinking about a new area of study and doing something a bit more challenging. But again, if you're worried about the money to go with it, then don't. It's absolutely fine. People around you, and this is to do with work, people around you, they recognise what you're doing, and they're pleased with what you are doing. So just if things aren't moving as quickly as you'd like them to, then they will, and it'll all be fine. That's what I got.
I was just trying.
No,
unless it's
plans. All right, well, there'll be something. It's more like a weekend away or something like that.
From the front door to the garden. For now.
Yeah.
Actually, you're not so far off topic, because technically demons and angels, if you want to call it negative light, can be jinns. Okay?
Right.
So
yeah.
Both angel and, yeah. But it does stem from about 6, because I remember my history in that from years ago, about from 632 AD. So that's when Muhammad was around, and this is, you know, from the Quran. But I did not know that the jinns were angels or demons. What show did you watch, Richard? Yep. Yes.
That's
Yep.
the story that I've got here. I am going to have to keep looking down at my book so as I can get it out properly. Hi, Maxine.
Hi, Maxine.
Hi, Marcus.
Oh, hi, Marcus. Yeah. Okay, sorry. I wasn't even sorry. Wait, who is it for? Terry, right?
Yes.
That's manifestation. Manifestation amongst the stars. Because that's what it is. Stars raining down. Stars raining down from heaven. It's funny because, you know what? It looks like the crown looks like the Statue of Liberty. But this, yeah, it does. Hi, Mr. and Mrs. B. So, you know, I mean, I often talk about manifestation, but manifestation is really the ability to bring your own thoughts, your dreams, and your intentions to reality. So it's not just dreaming it up in your head, because that's so easy for us to do. You know, we think about things. There are two things here. You can think about things and you can dream. Okay, they say you can think about things, you can dream them into reality, or leave the dreamer to dream in her sleep. Okay, so, but the law of manifestation, you know, helps you create, and you are the creator of your reality, Terry. And that's really explicit the way they say it. You know, you have to really sometimes watch your thoughts and what you are thinking, because as you will it, so you intend it. Okay. But it's really focusing your energy. Okay, I'm really sorry. This is how they're putting it to me. Your energy is a little bit scattered at the moment. So it's really reining that in and focusing on your experiences that lead you to much, how do you say that? That's not English. To have a greater fulfillment and purpose in your life. Sometimes I feel you have your fingers in too many pies. So they're saying you're actually really, I mean, we're all blessed, okay? But it's really what they're saying, the angels, it's really, this card is really to encourage you to recognize your own power. And I think sometimes you give that away too much, okay? And it's really holding that power and centering yourself in the I am power that you are. So it's learning to manifest, because actually, as I said, you know, you're a master of manifestation. You're a conjurer, you're a magician. So if you focus on something with really loving thoughts and the intentions, you bring that dream into reality. And I think often people don't realize how powerful they are, because we've been so layered and so conditioned in the programming that we believe ourselves not to be capable of what we truly want in our lives. Okay. There's a difference between want and need, of course. I'm not talking about needing, it's about wanting. So if there are things that you want to do, they're saying that time is now. So if you want to bring something to fruition, whether it's a project or like an opportunity, they're saying you have to do it now. And they're also saying, and this is really something that will take you 5 minutes a day, and you can sit on a chair, and that is really about, as they're putting it, it's almost about really just sitting in a chair for 5 minutes and like focusing your energy solely on you. It's drawing that energy of the day back into you. Okay. I don't know if you really sleep well at night. So if you don't, that is just shifts going on right now. But it's shifts going on. So there's downloads going on, but it's also holding your own energy, your own intent. So it's very important at this time for you to stay elevated, okay? And focus on the positive energy and the blessings and the positive events that are happening around you. I'm not saying they're all positive, because I can see some fractures, okay? And they're saying, but Terry, even though these are like fractures, these are still experiences, and just accept them as experiences and detach from them. I also feel that there are some people that you may need to let go of, because they are just not serving you. It's almost like they're draining you, but you kind of don't know what to say. So remember this. They're saying, the one thing I will leave you with, remember that you are one with the universe, and the universe is one with you. So I'm going to leave you with that, if that's okay, because otherwise I'm going to go on. Thanks, Terry. That's okay, because Terry, these are downloads. But that's why I said, just sit in a chair, like at the end of the day, or you want to do it in the morning, and you need to hold that energy. It's like you just put yourself in this bubble, and normally I would say green light, but it's really golden white light, and just sit there and then just hold that energy. Okay?
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
It's like sleeping is a challenge at the moment. It's when Halloween is so close, and the veils are so thin. It's just it's sort of really difficult to sleep anyway. My dreams at the moment are starting to go a bit nuts again.
Do you know what? I hardly slept one night. All one night this week. Yesterday was so, but honestly, one night it was just every half hour I woke up. Every half an hour.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Richard's saying that we should stop dreaming about him.
All right, do you reckon
right?
That's what it is? That's why I'm up every hour. Yeah, that's why we keep waking up. But so yeah, I can't remember the last time I slept a whole night through. It's been that long. Oh well. Shall I get on with that story?
Yes.
I've got it I wrote it in my book. The one that Richard was watching today, I think is the same one that I watched. So I got this story, and I think Richard got the same one, and he's just put the link up so you can find it in YouTube. I've just got to find it because I wrote it down.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I've got some fun facts as well, but shall I do this? Shall I do I'll do the story first. Right. And this is where I think the saying comes from, don't shoot the messenger. Because I don't know what we're going to call it. We're going to go with Anu, or are we going to go with God now? We're sending messengers to the jinns, and the jinns would kill the messengers. So I think that's where you get the saying from, don't shoot the messenger.
Yeah.
But anyway, they were here on this planet, and they were causing absolute mayhem. Right. See, this is where I have the problem with it, because it's like
The original jinn was Iblis, and he was
That's
cast
right.
out of heaven.
Yeah, that's what I've got. It's that story that I have. He was cast out of heaven, but he wanted to turn himself around, didn't he? And he
Yes.
kind of worked himself up through the ranks, and he became quite high ranking within like the heavenly status of things.
Yeah, but he's often actually compared to Satan.
Yeah.
Known as the devil, yeah.
Yeah, but Satan, I can Anunnaki that, because they're saying that Satan is. Should we just do the story?
Yeah, go ahead.
Right, yeah. So anyway, yeah, he tried to work himself up through the ranks, and he became that close to God. God said, right, well, you know what Allah, yeah, what I want you to do is go back down and clear out all the other watchers that are misbehaving.
Elohim. Mm-hmm.
Right. So then, yeah, he went down. He cleared out all the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Who created Adam?
No, Richard, you did not create Adam. Can I just say you made a real mess of the world then?
No, we're not learning anything. This is so true. So anyway, Allah knew that Iblis was trying to, get higher up the food chain, and he wanted to be higher ranking than Allah, and he was like, yeah, no, I'm not having that. So he sent Adam, and he asked, he created Adam, and he told the Iblis that he needed to bow down to Adam, but he wouldn't do it. He was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. So he asked for extra time, and he stalled. And then he finally decided, like, right, I'm going to take these 200. And so Iblis was then banished down into the hellfire, as it were. And he was like, right, I'm taking 200 of you guys with me. So he got together as many of the others as he could, and they went down, and that's where they stayed. That's where I got with that story. Have I missed anything out?
No, you're right. I mean, he made a request for the ability to try to mislead Adam and his descendants. However, God granted him, God granted his request, but also warned him that kind of he will have no power over God's servants, so to speak.
Yeah. And it's funny how that story folds over sort of into the story of the Watchers, and also into the Anunnaki stuff. So that's what fascinated me about it. But I have got some.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have got some fun facts. So they don't like iron.
No, you forgot Moses in the story.
Did I?
Yes.
Go on then.
The story between Moses and Iblis on the slopes of Mount Sinai. And apparently,
no, I haven't heard it.
So Moses asked Iblis why he refused God's order. And so Iblis was like, well, that his command was actually a test. And Moses said, well, if that is so, obviously, Iblis was punished, right? He was punished to become like an angel. It turned into a devil, or you would call it a fallen angel. And there's nothing really wrong with a fallen angel, because then they need to evolve again, redeem their sins or do the redemption. And it's just, as you were saying, it's just temporary, because the love for God remains the same. The love for Creator remains the same. That is saying, it's really smart. That is like saying, yes, the love for the Creator remains the same, but I need to find the love within me. That's what it was about. Okay. Because it's kind of like, when you cut yourself off from the power source, there's a kink in the cable, right? You need to unhook. You need to, whatever you call that. What do you call that when you take the kink out? Take the kink out. No, take the kink out the cable. All right. So
I'm not sure there is a word for that. Anyway.
No, kink the cable. So it was actually just because he refused to bow down to Adam out of pure devotion to God. But then God has created all creatures, and everyone is God. Each and everyone is God, so to speak, because we're all cut from the same bark of wood. But he was just so blind to the divine spark hidden in him. That's what I said. He felt he was disconnected. And so it's almost like he was comparing himself to someone else. That comparison is what we do these days. We compare ourselves to others. Why? Because that's just the conditioning. So it's Iblis who kind of represents this human psyche, okay, moving towards sin, or shows us, like the duality, how love can cause, how we can love, you get what I mean, right? It's duality. So that's the story of Moses and Iblis, and I find that fascinating. Actually, I really find that fascinating, because, as Iblis said, it's like you can't have evil without the light, so to speak. All right.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like forever how light you are. I think I say it every week, don't I? For however light you are, that you have to be equally as dark.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah,
so that's
I could get into Moses as well, because I've got a few thoughts. I've always got things going on around in my head with him as well, but we won't sidetrack from Jens.
I mean, you spoke to him, and I love Moses because I channeled Moses, and I know that Moses was a reluctant pharaoh. But he was amazing. He was a poet. He was a writer. He was a philosopher. I channeled him a couple of days ago, and it's just amazing.
Yeah. Cool. So Siobhan's got a question there. Would you recommend manifesting tomorrow night? Is it powerful tomorrow night? Yeah. If you're gonna do anything, do it tomorrow. I would say. I'm not an expert witch. It's not my field, because it's all to do with a big metal ball in the sky, isn't it? Because it's a full moon as well.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It's a full moon tomorrow. So if you like working with the moon, then tomorrow is your day to do it. Definitely. And I guess you can do the manifesting with the moon tomorrow night, whereas usually on Halloween you wouldn't really do manifesting with Halloween.
Right.
I guess. I don't know. I'm not a witch.
Me neither.
Sorry?
Me neither.
Yeah. It's funny, isn't it? You're either into like one thing or the other thing, and that you don't really find people that do both. But yeah. So I could talk a little bit about
here's the question for you.
You suggested that I should work with Hecate last week. I was wondering why, and if you could talk on her at all. So yeah, as I recall it from the other week, I did pull out some cards for you, but they weren't anything really particularly. They were just saying to work with the goddess Hecate. She's a triple goddess. She's got 3 aspects. That is the mother, the maiden, and the crone. Some people work with one aspect more than they work with other aspects. And she really links in with Inanna, who is, she is, right, so Inanna was Marduk's wife, so that is, I want to make that into something that is Egyptian. Marduk, who it is, it's gone out of my head. Anyway, it's Marduk's wife in the Anunnaki thing. But when I see Inanna, I kind of, because she's got so many different aspects, you know, like she's Mother Mary, she's Santa Muerta, Lady Sarah. There's so many different aspects to her. Like she just incarnates over time and time again. So to me, she's like the oldest goddess there is. You know, it's like there's lots of other goddesses to work with, but to me, it's like she's the oldest one. How much do you know about Hecate? Okay. What else can you do with her? You basically, she works with crossroads or T-junctions in the road. So I found like a lot of the magic to do with her, you do at T-junctions. God, what else have I got? I'm scraping my brain. That's pretty much what I have at the minute for Hecate. I hope that helps a little bit. And I mentioned the meditation to go off and find her, and I know they're available on YouTube. She's one kick-ass goddess. You know, a lot of it's more with the Celtic lineage as well, with Hecate. But you know, she's not just popular here; she's really popular over in America as well. She will have a Roman aspect as well. I never got as far as the Roman aspect, but she will have one because they transfer like the Celtic, the Roman. Like we've got her in the Egyptian, we've got her in the Anunnaki. So they just sort of like transfer down. So quite a nice way to research them is just to find out all of their aspects and go through that way. That's what I end up doing. Oh, and yes, Terry, put out your crystals tomorrow. Definitely. If you like the big metal ball in the sky, that is.
That's the ball.
And if it storms, which I believe we're due for some bad weather, keep the rainwater, which is very good for making spells.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not much of a witch, but I do like the old ways. So if you're going to do any magic and you want some water, you should always collect water from a storm. But if you can collect water for a storm on a full moon, or water on a full moon and a storm and a Halloween, I would go for it.
Okay. There you go.
Maybe we could do a show about the old ways and bring a witch in, Richard. That's a pretty good idea, actually.
So I think now everyone's going to put a bowl outside.
Yeah, put a bowl outside, collect your rainwater, keep it in a bottle. You can, well, you know, like you can make sprays out of it as well, like cleansing sprays. Richard's water. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, cool. So no, she's a brilliant goddess to use. She's, well, not to use, but to work with. She's amazing. But haven't done a spell before. Wonder what I can do. Well, the world's your oyster tomorrow night. Just be careful what you wish for. You know, you're getting into manifesting, especially on Halloween. You need to watch what you're doing.
Yeah. Is it blue? Is it going to be blue full moon visible in all time zones? Wow. Since
1944. Wow, there you go. You learn something new every day.
Yep.
Cool.
Okay.
Well, that was a nice little side track off of gin, wasn't it? But I think what people need. I think I'll become a witch. You can have fun.
I'm sure.
Just be careful.
I know what happens when I use my broomstick here from the 11th floor. Do you think I can fly?
Depends what ointment you put on it. What was that, Richard? Witch's water? Oh, $15.99 you put it on your broomstick. Well, you'd need some other stuff in it too. Yeah, you need some flying ointment for your broomstick, I'm afraid. Yeah. Gosh, yeah, probably. You could probably make something nice out of it and sell it. But yeah, in all seriousness, gins are still around, and I'm too of a scaredy cat to do things like that. I'll stick to charging my crystals. Yeah, fair play. That's all pretty much all I'll be doing tomorrow night. No hocus pocus for me. Okay. Believe that, you believe anything, right? Oh, we've got some adverts to do, apparently. Tomorrow afternoon, we have a conversation with Bex. That's 2:30. Back to us. Hello. Yeah, so that's everything for you to watch tomorrow. Looks like a good day by all accounts.
Yeah. Do you know actually? So wait. So where were we? So Iblis became a jinn, right? But yeah, he lived on the earth during the Battle of the Angels. And so when the angels took prisoners, they took him as well, right? And carried him back to heaven. The angels were actually impressed by his nobility, and he was actually allowed to join the company of the angels. And he elevated back to their rank. Okay. So once he elevated back to their rank, it was like, yeah, he had the appearance of an angel, but in essence, he was still a jinn. So he still had that duality thing going on. And he was actually able to choose whether well, he's always been a person to choose. So it's not like he followed God blindly like the other angels, right? So, and because God felt that he had abused his free will, because he considered himself, superior, which he wasn't, he was sent to hell, right? So we've done that. So, but he said he would take his revenge out on the humans by attempting to mislead them until the day of judgment. And so what he's saying, it's really funny why I think of the elite, but never mind. So I think what happened is he's neither good nor bad, but he likes to create havoc.
Yeah. Well,
and
yeah,
that is
know.
okay, because remember this, the darkness is in service of the light. And they may not always see it that way, right? Because the darkness often thinks that they're winning, but actually, no, they're always in service to the light.
Yeah. Yeah, you see, when I said earlier on, what do you know about jinns? It was like, nothing really. Loads.
It's just here in my head. So that's really, really interesting. So yeah, I mean that would explain. I mean, we live in this age of duality right now, of course, but that's the 3D, and we're shifting to 5D, and it doesn't mean that everyone is going to shift to 5D, but before, it's always darkest before the dawn.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Dark. Really? Because I can see.
Yeah, see, I can hear you, but I can't see you. You've frozen. Yeah.
Is this still frozen?
Oh no.
Oh,
Hello, Libra. I can't see any comments on my screen.
No, me neither.
Hi, Pam.
Hi, Pam. Okay.
Cool. Okay.
Okay, so where was I?
Yeah,
I said it's always darkest before the dawn. So, where we're at right now, it's going to get a little darker, that's all. But that's okay, because everything is an experience.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. I think things will get a little bit worse before they get better. But,
Yep.
We chose to be here and all that. Oh, excuse me.
Yes, we did. Absolutely, we did. But can I tell you something funny? This is nothing to do right now, but since we're on the subject of duality, I'm walking through the high street. Of course, I talked to the quantum mechanical engineers up there, and very interesting, fascinating. But they were like, I'm walking through the high street, I'm seeing all these people, and I'm like, wow, that's really amazing. And so what they're showing me is like, do you remember, I never watched The Matrix, okay? Never watched The Matrix. I know Westworld, but this was before I watched even Westworld, the third season. And I'm seeing all these people, and it's like, what Spirit was showing me, it's like all these people have these soul contract, all these people have their experiences, all these people have these characteristics, and these characters, these actors in their lives, that all play a part. And then that evening, they're like, Birgitta, do this. Elevate yourself across, above the messes, and what do you see? So it was really interesting how I saw humanity, because we are so wrapped up in our own experiences, right, that we believe them to be a reality because it pertains to our reality. Whereas in fact, as Spirit are saying, it's actually an illusion. It is a simple experience. Yet we get so entangled in the chaos of the emotions that we perceive it to be real. But as I was lifted higher and higher, it was just amazing to see, because people think they are not connected, but we're like this vast neural network, with all these offshoots, these synapses, and we're just, and as I was elevating higher and higher, you could see this network of little light particles, and everyone being connected, even though they're so unaware of it. And it's just worldwide, and it's just this whole evolved consciousness that keeps on going, because we are all holographic energetic imprints. Okay, so we continuously evolve. And they're saying it's like the Akashic records. It's the exact same. It's not like a book of, it's not like a library of physical books. It's all holographic imprints. And it was just so amazing, because above every person you could see these holographic imprints. And I was like, oh my God, when you move back down into that reality, it's just so much chaos, because many of us are enlightened, but many of us still have to work through the shadow sides. So that's really, really interesting.
Yeah. And like when you say that it's all sort of people are like holographic images,
yeah,
I can see like the downloads coming down into
yes,
people sometimes
exactly.
as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's it, because we're all energy. That's it. We are energy. We are not this physical yes, we're not this physical form that just enables us to evolve. And we, and this is another whole different subject, but that goes into where we're saying we are the creators of our own reality. Okay, we are thrust into circumstances, but it's how we react to those circumstances. Do we detach or do we attach?
Yeah. And it's when you look at it from the outside looking in, and you can kind of see, like, if somebody makes a decision and then a whole nother timeline and comes off that.
Yeah.
So you've not only just got like those downloads coming in, but you can kind of see all the alternate realities.
Yeah, absolutely.
As well. So it's kind of like when you're doing a reading, you're looking at one alternate reality. But when you look at it, so you could do this, and then this will happen. But if you don't and you do that, then that will happen. So you kind of, you're watching the timelines pan out.
Yeah, it's like the Pleiadians say, we wait in the future for your past to intersect with our present and catapult all of existence to a new frequency or a higher dimensional frequency of being.
Yeah. No, I can understand that.
Because your past, present, and future are intertwined. That's why you get that multidimensionality. But that's a whole different play field.
And when you're talking about being sort of a solid person, like, we're only atoms.
That's
you know what I mean? It's like when you look at the physics of it, not physicists, but look at the physics of it, we're only atoms and particles, right? And some are harder than others.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes the matrix idea work of things, because that's all that the matrix is.
Yeah.
So when you, like you say, into a completely different subject, and people talk about this, and they're in it, it's holographic, and this is one reality, but loads and loads of realities. It kind of changes the perspective of how you deal with things.
It does, but then it also changes the perspective when we look at the angels, the ascended masters, because even though
their atoms are squidgier than ours, that's why they can do things. That's why they can do what they do.
Yeah, even the intergalactics, and it's really like every single one of us are cut from that same bark of wood, there is no difference between you and I. There isn't. There is no separation.
Yeah.
Separation except for the ego, because that is just, and then I call that ejecting God out. But that's it. There is no, I am no better than you and you're no better than me, because we are all of equal divinity. There is no difference between any of us. Just the level of awareness, and that's it.
Yeah, and that's what bugs me, I think, about society the way it is, and how we've got this hierarchy of people who run our societies and that. It's like, who says you're no different to me?
Yep.
What makes you think that? Oh, yeah, it bugs me.
Yeah, it does. It does.
And when you've been on other planets and you can remember how they work.
Yeah.
Because you've lived in them for so long, and then you come here and it's like, oh my God. What am I doing? How do people well, I don't know how I cope with it, really, to be fair. But it's weird how you can also get so caught up in your life here.
Yes.
Like this reality. How you get caught up in it, and it's strange. Do you remember how you felt when you first worked out what things were really like on this planet? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, well, you mean when I kind of woke up?
Yeah, I guess. Like when you have that light bulb moment and you go,
oh, the light bulb moment. Yeah.
This is and it could even be the Truman Show. How did that make you feel? How did you cope with that?
I think let me just backtrack. Many people, I'm sure those that are watching right now, and you tell me if I'm incorrect, how many of you have actually woken up and perceived this not to be a reality? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
And that is just an experience. That's it.
Yeah.
It is a series of it's a series of experiences, but it's also a series of enactments in the play of your life. And it's like take 1, take 2, take 3.
Yeah. I kind of remember that moment of waking up and being like, oh my God, am I the only one that knows this? Because I wasn't told, didn't have a group of friends.
Yeah.
I worked it all out for myself. And then I went, crikey, is there anyone else? And then I kind of got that there were many other people out there who got it, sort of thing. But it's like, it was a real, you wake up and then you wake up again and then you keep waking up, and it just goes in stages.
Yes. So for me, it was like 10 years ago, but you're right. It goes in stages. It does. That's what every experience does for you, if you choose to embrace it.
Yeah. See, mine went really quick. It was like, I've always been awake. So, I've always known there's something funky going on. I used to have stuff going on when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I had experiences then. But then I kind of woke up again 7 years ago because I decided that doing psychic stuff would be a really good idea. And then, yeah, sure. But properly investigating it, sort of thing. And then, boom, within about 6 months, that was it. Screaming wide awake, and everything's going on Matrix style around me. And it was like, and I was off into the planets and stuff. And it was like, my God, how could I have just walked around for this long?
I know. But, it's really weird now for me, because even if I write or something, it's just a fusion. It's really weird. It just fuses within me. And that's kind of cool. And I just accept it.
Yeah. And like once I start researching stuff, I can't put my pen down.
No.
And I'm not like that. Generally, I can't sit and write for hours. But if I get really stuck into a dream or like this, I'll go straight into a rabbit hole. That's it. And I'll write and write and write and write and write. And this stuff starts coming out, and it's like, oh, well, that connects to that, and that's something else. And And then but I'm not like that. I'm not a person that writes, I just.
So how does one become awake? By changing your mindset, Terry. It's by changing your mindset, and it's by discarding who you are not. And when I say that it's who you are not, it is because from when we are born, we're born pure, okay, pure of heart. But then when we grow up, we get so conditioned, we get so layered, we get so cloaked that the world bogs us down because we cling on. Like this is like my friend Gwyn, when I was talking to him, and he crossed over last year, and he's like, do you know what? He said it like this. You're gonna laugh so hard. You people cling on to your experiences, and so did he in his life. And he's like, it's like a humping dog that won't let go of the leg. That's how badly you cling on to experiences.
That's funny.
I know. So it's really about being mindful. Okay, there's two things. You have mindful, where your mind is clogged, or being mindful and living in awareness in every waking moment. So that's what it is, and it's about doing the research or by reading books. And there are loads and loads of good books. I always say, and I send them to Gavin in the States, The Convoluted Universe by Dolores Cannon is a good one to start with.
Oh, okay. You're the second person to tell me to read that.
So I'm telling all these people here tonight as well. Go.
Yeah. When you hear it twice, you're like, yeah, all right, I should probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's called Richard, can you write that down? The Convoluted Universe by Dolores Cannon. And you can get it on Amazon.
Sorry, I missed that.
You can get it on Amazon, and it's really
right.
The Convoluted Universe, and by Dolores Cannon. And there are quite a few books. I think there are 8 or 9.
She's written loads of them.
Yeah. And she wrote them.
One onto my tablet the other week, and I got through it really quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, that about the Essenes.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, and that surprised me because I'm not a quick reader, but I just went through it like a hot knife through butter.
Yeah.
I'll tell you how else you can become awake. What I would say is turn off your mainstream media news.
Yes.
Turn off your mainstream media news and don't read the newspapers, because mainstream media is
biggest lie ever.
It's conditioning. It's conditioning us. They're basically telling us what they want us to know, not what our independent brain can work out for itself. So for the whole time the media is hammering stuff into your head, it's changing the way that it's changing your brain history.
All right.
And it's so if you can get rid of the mainstream media and get rid of your newspapers, and go and find stuff out for yourself,
Absolutely.
all right, have a good look around the internet. You'll find your good sources, and you'll find ones that aren't good, but you always find that in the internet. And
yep.
It's surprising how when you turn off the news and you get rid of the newspapers, it's surprising how quickly you feel better.
Yes.
Because the negativity that is coming out of those areas at you constantly,
yep.
all day, it will change your vibration quite considerably. So by getting rid of those, you can get your vibration a lot higher very quickly.
Yep.
I don't even listen to Radio 6, and they have hardly any news on there.
Mm-hmm.
They have maybe in an afternoon they have one, maybe two broadcasts, but and that's it. You don't really want to be listening to that. If you can find a radio station without any news on it at all, sort of better, really.
Yeah, but there's also, and I'm telling you, if you type this in Google, You can also jot this down, Richard. If you just jot into YouTube, actually, I'm lying. YouTube 432. Just put in music 432 HZ. What is it? Oh my gosh, I have an empty brain. Hega, blah blah. HZ 432 HZ. Okay, and you will find music. It's like music by Steve Jablonsky. If you type in Steve Jablonsky, Our Final Hope, okay, it will lead you to a whole area of music by, oh, come on, what are they called? Like Ivan Torrent, Joe Blankenberg. It's really, really good. Can't think of it. It's Tony something. I don't know. But there's a whole load of different music. And because it works on the brain waves, I think it's 432 HZ, 50 gamma hertz or something. But yeah, type in Steve Jablonsky, Our Final Hope, and you'll find everything. When you listen to that music, that is so uplifting, that really lifts your spirit up.
Yeah, I'm going to have to find that. There's another radio station called Skylab Radio.
I don't know that.
Now, yeah, well, it's like where to find stuff that is uplifting and it's not mainstream. So that's Skylab Radio. They don't have any speaking on there at all. Really, there's not, but it's all very, really called out, nice, you know, almost like the most jazzy thing you probably get on there is a bit of Ibiza chill out sort of thing. But yeah, that's a nice one. I found that one the other day. And like what you're saying about music, there's a lot of operant conditioning in music, and you don't even realise, because when you're listening to music, you're not listening to the words, but the words are still going in. So if you're listening to mainstream music, like chart music, right, have you realised, do you remember like around the 70s, well, I'm going to say the 80s actually, because I don't remember the 70s, but like in the 80s, the music was completely different.
Yes.
It had a completely different vibration to it.
Loved it.
Right, exactly. So if you go for like an hour or so listening to that music, and then you listen to current chart music, it'll drag you down. I think, me personally, I think that they've changed the frequency of the music to, and it's there to
it's in the undercurrents.
Yeah, like they've changed the vibration or the frequency with it, or they're like emitting some sort of frequency through it that just drags you down. And I'm listening to the words and I'm going like, how is this good? Like, I'm really open-minded, but you know, that I don't know. I don't think music these days. Yeah, Richard, that's a good idea. If we do a party, we should do an 80s party. Yeah, without a doubt.
There's a question here. Who am I? Well, who am I? Who am I? I am you, as you are me, because we are but mere reflections of one another, reflecting off each other and learning from one another to evolve and attain enlightenment. To, you know, because life is a walk. Oh, how do they always say it? It's a walk to the remembrance of self. That's what it is.
Yeah.
There's a song by Elvis Presley.
Oh, okay. Now I've disappeared.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all right. I'm up in the corner. I don't need me.
I can't read it, but what does it say?
Pamela's saying she loves classical music.
Oh yeah, classical is, yeah, if you like it, yeah.
You know what? I don't at all. Don't play me classical. I don't like it. Don't know why.
This is very true, Heather. The lyrics are very dark nowadays. It's all about sex. It's all about drugs.
Yeah.
It's about, yeah.
yeah, calling each other out, and I think
Yeah.
you know, yeah, well, we were talking about Facebook earlier on. I mean, that's another one to stay off, really. I mean, I'm a hopeless addict. I'll hold my hands up to that. But I'm on it less. Yeah, I'm on it much less.
Wait, I forgot. What I was referring to becoming awake? Yeah. Okay. So how does one become awake? As we just said, yeah. And as Kate just said, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The ether.
So,
In the ether.
in the ether. Yeah, right.
Yeah, people can get hold of us in the ether.
Yeah, pretty much. Just give both. Yeah. So right, yeah, you can find me at Good Karma Shop. That's on Facebook. I've got some of my stock on there. My website's starting to come together now, so it should hopefully only be a couple of weeks now, and I'll have an online shop.
Oh, well, you guys can find me on Universal Light Warriors on Facebook, where I post all of my inspirational stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that's it for tonight.
Yes,
Thank you, everyone, for watching.
Thank you.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.